36 million people watched this Red Bull video. But the weird part is, almost nobody talks about the editing. They talk about how it felt. Like somehow a drone racing an F1 car felt more cinematic than actual movies. And if you've ever watched a video and wondered, why does this video feel so much better than everything else on YouTube? I think this Red Bull video accidentally reveals the answer.
Is that the fastest camera drone in the world?
Hold on a minute. Do you guys notice something off about this intro? You look at the thumbnail, and what do you see? I see an F1 car and a drone. But what I don't see is this white man right here. This dude is basically the Michael Jordan of F1. Okay, but why is this important? Every YouTube strategist, every retention analyst would tell you that you want your opening shot to match the thumbnail that the audience clicked on, because you want to deliver on the promise and show that you're trustworthy and that they can relax and enjoy the video because you didn't bait and switch them and trick them. But in this case, this is Red Bull we're talking about. These guys are throwing people off buildings, dropping them in the dirt, flying them 50 billion miles per hour in the air. When they post a video and you see the thumbnail and title, you know they actually did it. So we know they're legit. They are doing a brilliant technique that's called dopamine stacking. Rather than just immediately starting the video with the drone and the F1 car, they instead raise your dopamine even more. Because when you look at the thumbnail, you don't know that Max is in the video. But when you click on it, bing! Dopamine spike, huge! All of a sudden, everything feels a whole lot cooler. And notice, you don't even see the drone. All you see are their heads quickly turning to follow it. They are hiding it to add mystery to it. But do you notice something else about the intro? There is no music. All they give you is a bass hit right at the start of the video, and just the sound of the drone flying by. And that bass hit is doing a lot because nobody's talking. Listen to the question he asks.
Is that the fastest camera drone in the world?
He doesn't get an answer. Instead of this gentleman answering, well, yes, it is. It is the fastest drone in the world. Can you believe it? No, he just says, they gave the least amount of dialogue possible to build the most amount of curiosity possible. Because it almost sounds like this was off the cuff, not planned, not scripted. It doesn't feel like, yo, what's going on, guys? Today I have the world's fastest drone. We're gonna take the fastest F4 car around a couple of laps. Like, no. This feels a lot more genuine. Quick thing. If you're obsessed with videos that somehow feel way bigger than normal YouTube videos, I put a free guide below breaking down 12 editing techniques that make videos feel more cinematic, immersive, and impossible to click off.
I think that can be one of the best F1 shots ever. So first of all...
Dude, that's so clean. Is that even a real shot? This is digital camera movement, because yeah, how would the camera even know that that drone was gonna appear there? I mean, sure, they could have planned it, but there's no motion blur on Max. If a camera moves that quickly in real life, there's gonna be motion blur, which tells me that this shot is fake. I'm not even convinced that this is a real thing of a drone. I think that's just a picture of the drone with motion blur added to it so that they could do this sick transition, whoosh, and it was sick. Look at the thumbnail again. The drone is pretty beautiful and black. But when I look at this one, it looks totally different from the drone in the thumbnail. And this is very smart because they didn't just cut to the finished result of the fastest drone. No. What humans love is difficulty and overcoming adversity. So how do we do this? Well, we start showing some experiments. Sometimes they succeed and sometimes they fail. But the audience doesn't know, so they gotta keep watching because they wanna know, will it finally work this time? Look at that, oh my gosh. That is such a perfect way to show where the drone is. And they're not just having a red circle that just follows it. The circle is rotating and they have a trail going behind it. And that's not just because it looks pretty. It makes the drone look even faster than it actually is. And hey, it is fast. I'm not saying it's not. But when you have a big old trail behind it, what do we associate that with?
Oh my God.
Same thing applies here. And it's red, which is a scary color, which makes it feel even more alarming.
150, 180.
It's unbelievable.
250.
It's amazing.
Oh my goodness. When you're watching a race like this, it's easy for your brain to get used to the sound of the engine. It no longer sounds as impressive because you've been hearing it go for a while. So how do you re-engage the brain? Well, you hit it with the gosh darn boom, right on the cut. And doing that makes it sound like the car had a second win, a big old just nitrous launch. Makes it feel like the race is picking up energy rather than just maintaining the same speed until the end of the race. They're also using another strategy right here. They are switching audio sources so frequently. They aren't just keeping the mic on the car or the mic on the drone or the mic on the gentleman. No, they're mixing between it every few seconds. That's how you make something feel like a real spectacle. One of the biggest things to note when you're trying to make something feel fast, scary, or intimidating, don't use the best looking shot. Look at this shot in slow motion. It just barely captures the car. They barely show it for half a second. It's just a mess. But that's what makes the shot perfect, because I am certain that the editor went through all the different shots, and that shot right there felt the fastest. So when you're picking your shots, don't just go off the one that looks the prettiest, or, oh, it took so long to set the camera up to get this angle. No. Pick the one that gives you a visceral, emotional reaction, something that you feel in your soul.
310.
Oh my gosh, wait a minute. That's actually genius. What do you do when you can't go faster in a car? You can't make it look more intense. You go in the opposite direction. And I love the fact that they hit us with a freeze frame, because there's a movie with a budget of over $350 million that did this exact same editing technique. I'm talking about Tron Ares. There's a scene in the movie where the bikes are going so unbelievably fast, you can't even keep up. It's just unreal how fast they're going. And then all of a sudden, they stop completely. That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a theater. I just, whoa. Seeing something move so fast and then come to an immediate halt defies physics. And that's what makes it cool.
It's gonna be hard to get that speed, and then it's impossible to get the endurance for a full lap.
This is gonna be hard.
Yeah.
The audience loves seeing competent people put under high pressure. They just love it. I mean, think about it. Oppenheimer freaking blew up, and what was it? Competent people under pressure. To see these intellectuals stumped on how they're gonna make this work makes it feel more rare and not so easy to accomplish. Because a lot of YouTube videos struggle to make a challenge feel real. A lot of times they end up feeling like, okay, the YouTuber's acting like this is a really hard thing, but in reality, they got a safety team, everybody's fine, nobody's in danger. It's gonna work out perfectly. But in this case, this feels like a genuine problem, and they may not overcome it. So I love the fact that they're building uncertainty into every scene in this edit.
It's a testing, improving kind of cyclist.
Full throttle, baby.
Oh my gosh. The editor just condensed February, March, April, May. What? Am I tweaking? Have the founding fathers changed the calendar? I knew I wasn't tweaking. It goes April, May, June, and July. Even at a high level, you will still catch some gosh darn editing mistakes. Oh, you had me for a second. I almost thought it was a perfect edit. So I was in the middle of counting, mind you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They just condensed 8 months of footage into 10 seconds. It's very hard. When you're working with elite footage like this, you kind of want to show everything because everything is beautiful. But you can't. You're not going to attract a broad audience, and they're not going to want to watch the rest of it because it gets too niche. It gets too into the details, and instead of getting 30 million views, you get 3 views.
Overheating can go maximum 100 degrees and it's already at 120.
Oh, this is the perfect time to bring in the jazz. Because look, if all you do is just build suspense and tension and never give a break, it gets dull. Because then the audience feels like you're kind of manipulating them a bit too much. I teach editors this exact problem inside Elite Editor Academy, where videos technically look impressive, but never actually feel cinematic. But watch this next sequence first, because this is where Red Bull does the exact opposite.
No, we have to start like this, and then it basically tilts like that and flies.
Right.
We'll show you the footage later.
How does it work? By a tracker or you program it by a GPS?
No, this is pure manual.
He's the pilot.
I'm the pilot.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
That's really smart. They didn't just go from failing experiments to all of a sudden succeeding and then doing the final test. The editor included these moments where industry professionals, top of their game, are looking at this drone in awe. Again, it's just building the legend behind this drone. It's kind of making it into this mythological creature, just this mysterious entity. It's like, oh, is that the drone? What does it do? Oh, how does it work? It's like cavemen discovering fire.
Doesn't work on a track.
Oh! My compliments to the chef. That transition is so unbelievably sexy. I like how Red Bull accidentally became one of the best filmmaking companies on YouTube while pretending to sell energy drinks.
We are ready to go with a full lap.
A lot of things that could go wrong.
Firing up now. Car out of pace. Car on track.
It's so funny how just having some dude on the radio where he sounds like, "We got a 1042 on a 36 Monday." Radio dialogue has this way of making something feel like it's history. You're witnessing history in the making. That's why it's all over the F1 movie too. It just adds something to the intensity.
Drone is in the air.
Signal's still good.
I love the fact that they have the ugliest drone camera footage you've ever seen in your gosh darn life. It's just making you beg for the high quality shot, the shot. And I don't know if the camera is actually that ugly on this thing, or if the editor made it even uglier than it actually is. And if they did, that's pretty gosh darn genius.
Nope.
Did you see that? That's not cool.
I have no video. Hitting return to home.
This is really smart because when they're experimenting on the grass fields, you're like, oh yeah, they're gonna make a ton of mistakes. This thing's gonna get broken every freaking second. But when they go to the actual track, you're thinking, okay, well, I'm glad they fixed all the problems. Meanwhile, baboosh, it breaks, it smashes. So again, that just builds even more curiosity, even more tension in your brain. They didn't have to show this shot of it breaking, but it helps. It just adds to the lore behind this creature.
Second attempt. Started recording. Going up.
Wait a minute. You sly dog. If they're looking at this 4K high quality footage, then that means the editor's making it look like dog ass. Okay, that's pretty smart. And the only time you get a sneak peek is when it's on a laptop monitor. You don't want to watch on a laptop monitor. You want to see it on your full screen.
This will be our full lap. Drone is starting the full lap.
I'm on him.
Oh yeah, the transition, bro, that was so good. Wait a second. How the heck does it sound like that? Regular drones that aren't even close to this fast, they sound like, so how the heck Am I hearing a perfectly clear sound of the race car without this loud, obnoxious drone? I got it. I'm willing to bet that they're using a combination of a microphone in the race car, but that can only take you so far. I think they're also doing sound design to fluff it up even more. And I'm not talking about the boom hits and the cinematic sounds and all this stuff. I'm talking about the actual car and the sounds of the wind and the sounds of the rush. They're adding in all sorts of ambience to make this hit way harder. Look at how you can see the aerodynamics in action with the water vapors coming off. This is crazy. Look at the tires. It's getting so close. There's no music. That's an added in sound right there. That little rumbling sound as he's kind of getting close to the edge. No cuts so far, by the way. This is crazy. Hit him with the whoosh. Little subtle things like that make the edit more immersive, and it makes the race more impressive. Woo, satisfying bass hit, and then they kick in the classical. Oh. The craziest part about Red Bull is that they don't edit like a company trying to sell products. They edit like a company trying to make history. They went 2 whole minutes without a single cut. And the video performed amazing. And you're not gonna have a drop off of retention there. Everybody's gonna have their full attention because this is the moment we've been waiting for. You don't have to cut. The footage speaks for itself. And once you understand why this Red Bull video feels cinematic, you'll immediately understand why Beast Games started feeling so exhausting to watch. Go watch it before your brain forgets what good pacing feels like.